Welcome to the Epcotian Adventure,
a podcast where we talk about all things Disney, but we're Epcot-centered.
including tips and tricks, festivals and favorites, and the very latest in our rankings and reviews.
But we're still old enough to remember when our number 4 on this list scared the crap out of me.
This is episode 127, the top 10 underrated spooky Disney movies.
Or, it's spooky season, y'all. Grab a blanket and some popcorn. Here we go.
So now, please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast as we embark on our spooky Epcotian adventure.
We call it Epcot.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 127 of the Epcotian adventure, and it's finally October. Yay! I'm Rod.
We love October. And I'm Sue.
We're talking about it's Halloween time. Well, actually, if you look at the Disney parks, it's been Halloween since August. And if you look at Walmart or Dollar General, it's been Halloween since July.
And if you look at Costco, it's already Christmas.
Yeah,
so,
weird.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I'm not a huge Halloween fan, but I like the spooky vibes. Without being scared.
Yeah, the Disney spooky vibes. I don't think the Universal version or the Six Flags version of this is kind of in our wheelhouse. But we do like to watch the Disney spooky, kind of not so scary films on Disney Plus and on Freeform and the other Disney channels.
That's a great way to put it. We are not going to talk about scary movies. These are all things that you could watch with your whole family and no one's going to go to bed with nightmares.
Well, I don't know. Number 4.
For the most part.
There was a time when Disney was trying to scare us.
And it worked because I was of the right age to be scared.
And if you remember Alien Encounter at Magic Kingdom.
Yes. I think that was a fever dream that we all shared.
We can thank Michael Eisner for a lot of that, I think. But
so weird. So in that vein of spooky and not scary, and we're not going to be talking about horror films here, and we're not going to be talking about ones that you might expect to find on this list.
Yeah, these are the underrated ones.
Yes, everybody knows about Hocus Pocus. Everyone knows about The Nightmare Before Christmas and the 2 failed attempts at making a Haunted Mansion film. Why is that so hard?
I don't know.
Just use the actual plot.
Yeah. There's no reason it should be that bad.
Right?
And even Frankenweenie really is a kind of another one that was in that same vein around the same time.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that most people know about, especially Hocus Pocus.
Or there's a ton of Disney Channel movies, lots of DComs, Halloween Town franchise, the Zombies franchise.
Yeah.
Descendants even kind of fits in this category because we're talking about villains. Don't Look Under the Bed. They're under wraps. Like, there's a ton of DComs if you want to go down that road.
Or Goosebumps if you want to go back far enough.
Well, that's true. We are not doing those. So these are 10 films that you can find on Disney. I think you can currently find them. You know what? We didn't check.
I did, actually. They're going to be on Disney Plus and Freeform.
Excellent.
So usually it's the 31 Days of Halloween that they do. These are films that you will see on Disney currently.
Love it. That makes me very, very happy because we're going to have to look at some of these and watch them again this year. So that being said, let's dive into our top 10. We were going to do a top 7 because we usually do a top 7. There were too many.
Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
So we actually did a true traditional top 10. So with that in mind, should we just dive in?
Dive in. So number 10 is for you.
Number 10. I'll start number 10. Number 10, we're going to start off right off the bat with a controversial one. Because this film was not well received. It was in theaters.
And it wasn't all that spooky. It was just...
But it has the right vibes.
It had the right vibes, exactly. Yeah. Yes.
So, yes, this is not traditionally a scary movie. It is not a spooky movie, but it does have Halloween vibes. And we are going to start with Sorcerer's Apprentice from 2010. This movie, I'm just going to read you the description if you are unfamiliar or not remembering, or you're still going, what? Why would you recommend this?
Or there was a movie called Sorcerer's Apprentice? Yeah, this was not really widely viewed, unfortunately, in the theaters.
It's true. No,
we did see it. It was fun.
We did. I enjoid it, but many people did not.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
It's
Everyone
Nicolas
has
Cage.
Yes, Nick Cage is the star of the film. He plays Balthazar.
No, he plays Nicolas Cage.
Well, he's always plays Nicolas Cage, who we just saw at Disneyland, by the way.
That's true, we did.
He was there enjoying the day. So yeah, he plays Balthazar. Jay Baruchel I just looked up how to say his name, and I probably just got it wrong, plays Dave, who is the sorcerer's apprentice. You will recognize him by his voice, if nothing else, because he was the voice of Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon. Love him. And Alfred Molina, it plays Maxim, who is our bad guy.
And, of course, he's known for Doc Ock in the Spider-Man franchises.
Love that. He's fantastic. So, great cast right up front. The storyline. Dave is just an average guy, but the wizard Balthazar sees in him a hidden talent for sorcery. He becomes Balthazar's reluctant protege, getting a crash course in the art of magic. As Dave prepares to help his mentor defend Manhattan from a powerful adversary, he wonders if he can survive the training, save the city, and find his true love.
Yeah, it's funny. You would have thought with the Muppets taking Manhattan that this wouldn't have been a problem.
Well, they gave it back.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah. So this was number 10 on my list. It's not a fantastic film, but I think it's worth a view. And again, not very spooky, but it does have those magical vibes, which gets you in the right mood for the season, I think.
And a lot of Disney Easter eggs. It's one of those films kind of like Wish, where they tried to throw a lot of stuff in going, hey, look, Disney nerds, look what we did.
Of course, yeah. And you do have the famous broom scene that you are familiar with Mickey.
From Fantasia.
Yeah. Right. So you have that, but live action, I thought it was fun. So there we're starting. Rod, take us to number 9.
Number 9 on our list is Muppets Haunted Mansion. And we said we were going to talk about Haunted Mansion, but this is one that came out on Disney Plus only. So this is the only one that was on video rather than in the theaters in our list. And it's because we love the Muppets. It, again, not a great film, but worth a look if you haven't seen it. Will Arnett was in this, along with Darren Criss. And Sue, Darren Criss, remind me.
He was known, TV fans will know him from Glee, and he's also a very well-known Broadway star.
That's right. I knew the name. Well, this one, if you're not familiar with it, the synopsis on this is the Muppets Haunted Mansion is a Halloween special on Disney Plus. Of course, we just said that. That follows Gonzo and Pepe the King Prawn.
Hola, hello, I am Pepe the King Prawn, okay?
I love Pepe. As they spend one night in a haunted manor on the anniversary of Gonzo's hero, the Great MacGuffin, disappearing there. The manor, of course, is based on Disney's theme park attraction, the Haunted Mansion.
I love that.
Yeah. If you're a lover of the Muppets like we are, especially Gonzo, he's kind of the face of this one. It's a fun film. It's just a good Halloween, a few jump scares, very, very minor PG type of film.
Very minor. And fun for the whole family. No complaints.
And just to keep up with the notes on this, that came out in 2021 originally on Disney+.
Number 8 on our list. Now, this one I'm going to argue is our first actually scary film because it scared me when I saw it. There's still elements of it that haunt my nightmares, but it's not technically a horror film or anything. It's still something you can watch with the family. Number 8 is from 1985, and we are going Return to Oz. This is based on the second and third books of the Oz franchise. It is considered a sequel to The Wizard of Oz in a very, very different vibe. The second and third books are The Marvelous Land of Oz and Ozma of Oz. So the synopsis here is going to be an older Dorothy is sent to a mental institution, but escapes and returns to a dark and ruined Oz, where the Gnome King and Princess Mombai have turned the citizens to stone and shattered the yellow brick road. So this is where we're going to meet Jack Pumpkinhead. We're going to meet TikTok. We are also going to see some more familiar characters along the way. We're going to have sort of
newer adaptations of them, though.
Yes. Yeah. And more of a, almost a steampunk kind of vibe to it. Before
TikTok.
Steampunk was really a thing.
TikTok is very steampunk.
Yes.
I hadn't even thought of that until you said that. That's a really good.
We have
really good
the
point.
witch who changes heads. It's creepy, y'all. This is one that can haunt you a little bit. For me, it's all about the Wheelers. Yeah. They freak me out so bad. To this day, if there's anything with extended arms or anything that makes that sound, if there's a stray shopping cart in the parking lot, gosh, it will freak me out. If there's a kid on a skateboard coming up behind me, it will freak me out. You
know, it's funny. The movie The Wiz has a similar thing for me in the subway scene. There's that kind of weird kind of clown noise. Same thing in that film. Not a Disney film, but also a Wizard of Oz theme, that if I hear that same kind of sound, really freaks me out. That's really funny.
That is funny. Some of these things from your childhood, man, they linger. So this is definitely on my list. And for our purposes today, it made number 8.
All right, well, number 7. This was a Ray Bradbury classic made into a Disney movie. It was called Something Wicked This Way Comes from 1983. I had a poster of this on my wall as a kid. I loved this film. It was Jonathan Pryce was Mr. Dark, also starred Jason Robards. Those were kind of the two biggest names. Something Wicked This Way Comes follows best friends Will Holloway and Jim Nightshade, love that name,
That is such a great name.
in their small Midwestern town as they encounter a dark, mysterious carnival led by Mr. Dark just before Halloween. The boys must face the carnival's powerful, soul-stealing leader and his agents, learning the true meaning of courage and friendship while grappling with themes of aging, loss of innocence, and the conflict between good and evil. This is a typical Ray Bradbury, perfectly paced book. The film was a little clunky, but was a very, very good spooky film. And so, therefore, it fits into our list as number 7.
I mean, if you hear nothing else other than Jonathan Pryce as Mr. Dark at an evil carnival, I mean, what else do you need for a Halloween film?
Definitely. He was great.
And I just have to mention, because I'm such a Shakespeare nerd, Something Wicked This Way Comes is a phrase that comes from the show Macbeth, which the witches say in the opening scene, and so good when you have a callback to a Shakespeare quote. That just tickles me.
Kind of like Screw Your Courage to the Sticking Place from the Mob song.
There's reasons I love that, too.
Beauty and the Beast. I love it.
Again, Macbeth. All right, moving on to number 6. So at number 6, we're going to go even more family-friendly, but still with a little spooky twist. And this is also from 1975. This is Escape to Witch Mountain. Now, this I remember seeing in the theaters as a kid. They did like a summer thing where they showed kids' movies on the big screen that you could go and see replays of. This was one that they played. I went and saw it with my best friend, Allie, and we spent the whole beginning of the film trying to decide if they went Witch Mountain, like which mountain are we supposed to go to, or Witch Mountain, like the cackling witch. And obviously we did not know about the use of homophones back then and how different words can be spelled differently and be different words and sound the same. So as children, this was a mystery to us, but now we understand it is a cackling witch. Anyway, this is a really fun film. Here's the basic synopsis is Tony and Tia Malone are 2 orphan siblings with extraordinary psychic powers. When their abilities attract the attention of a cruel millionaire, he kidnaps them with plans to exploit their powers for financial gain. Tony and Tia escape, and with the help of Jason O'Day, played by Eddie Albert, a bitter widower camping in a nearby Winnebago, they attempt to elude Bolt and begin to discover their otherworldly origins. So it is just a fun family film with a little spooky twist, a little supernatural twist because of their psychic abilities. Very, very cheesy effects, but a good cast. We have Eddie Albert, we have Tia is played by Kim Richard, Tony is played by Ike Eisenman. I don't actually know them. I haven't followed their careers, but there were sequels to this film. It did have a remake later on, so it does still sort of exist in today's zeitgeist, I guess you would say, in that it has had some rebirths along the way. But again, fun family film, and definitely made our top 10 at number 6.
Well, I mean, it was so good back in the day that it had a sequel. Like you said, Return to Witch Mountain, but Race to Witch Mountain in 2009 starred Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, of course, because he's in everything.
I haven't seen that one. I'd actually kind of like to see that.
I remember when it came out in theaters, and we didn't see it, and it didn't last long in the theaters, unfortunately. So I just think that's fun.
That is fun. Rod, take us to number 5.
We're going to reach back into the animated classics for this one. Back in 1985, the movie Black Cauldron. I remember watching this in the theater and being spooked a little bit by it because, I mean, the Horn King, come on. That character is exceptionally spooky. But it follows lowly pig herder Taran. He dreams of being a knight, and young Taran receives his heroic calling when the evil Horn King kidnaps Henwin. That's a prophesying pig. And with the help of his sidekick Gurgi, which is the one big name in this film, John Biner, and Princess LOY.
She's the forgotten princess. No one ever remembers that she existed.
Well, this film was one of the first PG films that Disney put out way back in the day. They're trying to locate the Black Cauldron before the Horn King is able to use its mystical powers to summon an army of the undead, which, when you're a kid, is truly frightening.
It's still frightening. Let's be honest.
Yeah, this was a little intimidating as a kid. When you're expecting a Disney animated film and you go to the theater and the Horn King and his legion of undead come out on the screen.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah. John Biner was Gurgi. If you remember back in Magic Kingdom, there was a quick service restaurant in Fantasyland called Gurgi's Munchies and Crunchies. And that's where this came from. I still miss that name, but it's no longer there, unfortunately. Susan Sheridan played Ellen Y. and Wayne Allwine, the voice of Mickey Mouse back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, just played an uncredited henchman. But I love that even Mickey was in this film.
I love that.
Is it a great film?
Yes.
I think so. Is it underrated? Yes, very much so. If you've never seen it, or if you're just kind of going back and rewatching older Disney films, this is a great one to start on. But do remember, it is PG, so if you have small children, this might not be a perfect one to start them on. And
I do want to mention, if this is your jam, the books are so good. Please, please, please read the books. They're so, so good. I believe it starts with Tehran the Wanderer, but I think The Black Cauldron is actually the second book. Anyway, look them up. They're fantastic. Moving on to number 4. Number 4 on our list, we're also going into the Wayback Machine with another live action that is highly underrated and, as a child, scared the crap out of me. Number 4 is The Watcher in the Woods. This was a 1980s film. It starred Bette Davis. Bet you didn't know she was in a Disney film, did you? Did you? Huh? No? Okay. So she plays Mrs. Aylward, and Lynn Holly Johnson plays Jan. Kyle Richards plays Ellie. Those are the 2 kids. And the basic plot reads as such. It's actually labeled as a mystery horror film, which I think that might be one of the only horror Disney films.
I think so. That was not considered like Touchstone or...
Right.
Because, I mean, Halloween remake was a Disney film, but it was under a different label.
Right. But to be actually Disney and labeled that way surprised me. But it is about an American family that moves to a country manor in England only to be tormented by a supernatural presence. The paranormal activity is connected to the disappearance of the owner's daughter 30 years prior. So that is sort of a general overview. A little more in-depth, the Curtises rent an old manor in the English countryside from Mrs. Aylward, a reclusive woman whose teenage daughter Karen mysteriously vanished 30 years ago. The elder Curtis' daughter, Jan, bears a striking resemblance to Karen, which both fascinates and disturbs Mrs. Aylward. It's a good film. It was a good film in the 80s, I should say.
Yeah.
We have not watched this recently. As a child of the 80s, I was of the right age to be absolutely scared to death of this film. I loved it at the time because though I don't enjoy being scared, I'm not a fan of horror films. This was just the right amount of Halloween spooky. So this hit just the right balance for me. It might do the same for you. If you're not familiar with this one, give it a try.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid. I remember watching it on HBO and on the Disney Channel when it first came out. And still enjoying it up through the 80s. But yeah, it's been a while. We need to catch up on that one.
We should. See if it's worth the hype.
Number 3, we're reaching back, and this is the oldest one in the list, reaching all the way back to the 1940s for this one. This is The Adventures of Ichabod Crane and Mr. Toad.
Yay!
Love this one. This is one of my favorites of all time, which is why it's on the block here as the bronze medal?
Yes, it's making the podium.
Basically, if you're not familiar with this one, you are. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, of course, is based on this at Disneyland Park. It's 2 animated adaptations of classic literature, basically. Wind in the Willows was the Mr. Toad side, and The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving was the Ichabod Crane side. They are pushed together into 2 different parts of the same film, and absolutely love these. Without going into a synopsis on these, really, I mean, if you're not familiar with the storylines, I don't want to ruin it for you because they're very short films, but Ichabod Crane is chased by the Headless Horseman, but the entire thing is narrated by Bing Crosby. I love that. I just love he's every voice in it. Except,
Yeah, people think of him as being the voice of Christmas.
Yeah.
Because of White Christmas and all the holiday films. But because of Ichabod, he really is a great voice for Halloween as well.
The other one big name in this that you probably would recognize, he was the voice of the Headless Horseman. I'm assuming just the laughter, but the Headless Horseman was Tony Randall. Who knew? This is uncredited. Tony Randall, of course, is from The Odd Couple, if you remember the series way back in the day with Jack Klugman, and Broadway, of course.
Yeah, that blew my mind when we learned that. I was today years old when we learned that. Yeah, that blew my mind a little bit.
He must have just been hanging around the studio. They're like, hey, would you want to do a voice?
Yeah, seriously. Like, he's not a big, scary voice. I don't know why they picked him, but it obviously worked.
And then the second part of that is the Mr. Toad segment, and it's narrated by Basil Rathbone. Also a very big name in both film and radio back in the 40s and 50s.
Known as the original voice of Sherlock Holmes.
That is correct.
Love that. And I also want to point out that if you have been on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Disneyland, in the film version, he doesn't go to hell. So it's not as disturbing as the ride, oddly enough.
Yeah. Eric Blore was Mr. Toad. That's a name I'm not familiar with, but he was Mr. Toad, so I had to mention that.
I love that one. It's such a fun one. For the Halloween vibes, we're mostly looking at Ichabod here because of the Headless Horseman, but Toad's a bonus.
And, of course, the Headless Horseman starts off the parades at California Adventure and Magic Kingdom for the Halloween parades. I love that.
It's so cool. It's one of the coolest parts of the parade. Everything gets all quiet and everyone watches him prance down the street. It's so cool. All right, number 2. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. Number 2, we are going to stay in the animated realm, and this is our newest film that we are going to include. This might be controversial as well, because this is also not a spooky film, but it fits the vibes of the season. And we're going to go with Coco.
Coco? That's not Halloween. Well, it is. It's Day of the Dead.
It's Day of the Dead, which fits the season. And because it mostly takes place in an afterlife world, it kind of fits the spooky. This was from 2017. It is a Pixar film. We have Benjamin Bratt as Ernesto de la Cruz. We have Anthony Gonzalez, who plays our main character, Miguel. We also have some guest stars who I did not know were in this movie. So Edward James Olmos makes an appearance. Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, makes an appearance as a voice. Cheech Marin makes a vocal appearance.
He's in a whole bunch of Disney films.
He got a whole character in Oliver and Company.
Yes, he did. Well,
and then, of course, John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, you can't have a Pixar film without John Ratzenberger.
Right. So I thought that was really fun. But here's the basic premise. If by any chance you have not seen Coco yet, and if you haven't, please do, and grab an entire box of Kleenex before you do. It is about an aspiring magician, Miguel, who lives in a Mexican family of shoemakers with a generations-old ban on music, which dates back to when Miguel's great-great-grandfather abandoned his family to pursue a career as a singer.
How rude.
I know. So that's our basic premise. But the journey is so much more than that. It's the Day of the Dead, and Miguel gets transported magically into the other world, into the land of the dead. You see the beautiful bridge of marigolds that they have, and he gets to meet his ancestors and learn about his history. You have some great music in here. Remember Me is one of my favorite ones.
Remember me, just don't let it make you cry. Too sad, I can't go home.
And Un Poco Loco is one of my favorites. It's a fun one. Anyway, great music, great characters, gorgeous animation, and seriously, grab a box of Kleenex before you watch this.
And of course, we just found out that Coco will be getting its own ride at Disney California Adventure in just a couple years.
Pretty excited about that.
Pixar Pier. I love it.
All right, we're at number 1.
Up to number 1.
Has your favorite made our list yet? Do you know what number 1 is going to be? I'm pretty sure you do not.
This one goes back, and this is nostalgia, I think, for both Sue and I.
100%.
100%. We used to watch this one on VHS back in the day. And this is the 1968 classic, Blackbeard's Ghost. I love this film. This is one of my favorite Disney films of all time, not just spooky Disney film. It stars Dean Jones, Peter Ustinov, and Suzanne Pleshette. Now, again, if you're older like our age, you know those names. If you don't, look them up. They're great actors, and Dean Jones was in everything in the 70s.
He was in all the live-action Disney films, like literally all of them.
Yeah.
And Peter Ustinov, you do know, because he was the voice of Prince John and King Richard in the animated Robin Hood.
And Suzanne Pleshette was Bob Newhart's wife in the original Newhart series.
I love that.
Well, the movie itself follows Dean Jones, who plays Coach Steve Walker, as he accidentally recites some magic words and brings back the ghost of Blackbeard. Peter
Like you
Ustinov.
do. Like you do, you know.
Yeah, Blackbeard explains to Steve that he was cursed by his wife, and he was basically just been wandering around until the right words were said, and now he shows up and helped Coach Walker basically put an end to some bad guys trying to take over an old inn. Yeah.
And let's put helps in quotation marks.
That's a very good point. Very good point. Really, really fun film. If you get a chance to watch it this season, highly recommend it.
It's full of bad jokes and super cheesy 1970s special effects, and it is such a good time. Watch this one with your kids if you need a good, fun one that they haven't seen yet. I can't recommend this one enough. I absolutely... And again, like Rod said, it's nostalgia, of course, but I love this film.
It's just so endearing, and it's just a great standard 70s Disney comedy, although it was in 68.
Now, as a bonus, if you are in the mood for some shorter spooky things, always recommend Lonesome Ghosts, the Mickey Mouse short from 1937, where Mickey, Donald, and Goofy become basically the original Ghostbusters and go to clear out a haunted house. So much fun. Trick or Treat from 1952, again, a classic short. Donald and his nephews, and they go trick-or-treating. You got to see that one. And then more recently from 2013, Toy Story of Terror. Super fun Halloween short that they did. None of these are scary. They're all 5 minutes, 15 minutes. They're all short.
I think Toy Story of Terror is a full 30-minute short. But
it might be, because I think it was made for TV. Yeah.
And of course, you can't forget the Skeleton Dance. One of the original Walt and Roy cartoons. No, not Roy. Roy funded it, but one of the original Walt Disney cartoons that you could see playing on Main Street in the cinema for years. Well, folks, that's our top 10 spooky Disney films. What do you think? Tell us down in the comments if this matches your top 10 or comes even close, or if you've never even heard of these films. We'd love to know what you think.
Yeah, we definitely want to know what your favorite one is. These were the underrated. These are all the underdogs for sure. These are not your Hocus Pocus and your Nightmare Before Christmas. We understand if you just want to do those, but I'm going to challenge you to give at least one of these a try this season.
And if it's going to be one, it should be Blackbeard's Ghost.
Absolutely. Or Watcher in the Woods.
Yeah. Before we go, we'd like to give a big thank you to our theme music composer, Jason Patrick Rowan, whose music is licensed through Pond 5. And of course, thank you, Phoenicians.
Thank you, Phoenicians. And don't forget to rate, review, like, share, and subscribe. It really does help other people find us. You can find us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Epcotian Adventure is a $1,000 brunch production and a proud gold member of D23. Thanks for joining us today for episode 127 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And we'll see you in line.
Bye.
Thank the Phoenicians.
Before we dive in, we need to specify that we're not talking about.
Oh, right.